So once again we found ourselves back at Orison, preparing to set out aboard our Drake Corsair, the Rabid Racoon. Our first excursion had been a bit of a rush, and so we had not had the opportunity to fully load up the ship yet, like we would have done back on the old adventures on board the ship. And so a trip to the Providence platform was where I'd begin, to the store that among other things sells the jumpsuits that we wear on board as uniforms. Carrying everything on board the ship is risky, but the extra risk can also make things very immersive. As the sun began to rise over the city in the clouds, I'd make the journey to the spaceport, where I'd be meeting Arathorn in a hangar to move supplies aboard the ship. And much like the old days, one thing we'd make sure to bring along was a bunch of empty boxes. These could be scattered around the ship and make for a useful storage solution for things like medical supplies, ammo or food to be shared among the crew. Before setting out though, we'd meet in the galley for a snack, and Arathorn had come prepared. And this would be the perfect time to discuss the plans for the day ahead. Here's what I'm thinking, Arathorn, for today's little adventure. I remember Wallace Klim being reintroduced to the game at Grim Hex with missions. The bald guy in the basement of Grim Hex, you know, the drug guy?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I've never done any of his missions or anything like that, so I am wondering if we can find such missions. I didn't see the appointment mission to meet Wallace Klim at this moment, and these things being unpredictable, it would be better to take something else on to get us moving. How about we start with something simple? I know, isn't it? There's a retrieval up at Whistler's Crypt.
Yeah, good idea. In, out.
So we'd be heading for Whistler's Crypt on Daymar to recover some titanium. We'd probably encounter Ninetales at the outpost there too, so maybe some cool action would follow. Whistler's Crypt itself does not have a quantum marker, so finding the nearest point of interest would reduce our flight time. Is there anything we can jump to a little closer? Yeah. 130-ish kilometers, I think. Looks like it'll be 147 maybe.
Yeah.
Whistler's Crypt is a derelict outpost built around the crash site of an Origin 600i. We'd be leaving the ship to recover the titanium, and so after we made our landing, I'd need to equip some armor to survive the atmosphere of Daymar. Arathorn was already equipped with our usual Morozov loadout. It looks like the boxes are kind of... there's a bit of distance.
Spread out a little bit, yeah.
I'm going to land this a little further out because I need to equip things and whatnot. Hopefully we won't get attacked by any reinforcement ships or anything like that. Equip some armor.
Okay, I'll stay on the top turret till you're good.
We landed a little further out from the outpost than is ideal to avoid an attack on the ship by Ninetales Cutlass flying to and from the site. Between us and the site though was a very large ridge we'd have to go over or around.
I wonder if we can get up around this big rock here.
Yeah, I think we can. We might be able to climb actually up onto the ridge. Engine or wind? That sounds like an engine.
Yep, there it is.
The ridge would get steeper as we climbed though. Okay, gotta be careful we don't get stuck. And we never quite made it to the summit, instead spotting a way around not too far ahead of us. Getting back down though was also a bit of a challenge. Shimmy down these rocks if we're careful. Okay, After making our way over to the crash site, we begin spotting Ninetales holding the site. Yeah, I got hostiles down below. Down. The first of the 3 boxes of titanium was in the 600i wreck itself.
Getting out of my stuck position.
One of the boxes is now in my possession. I'll place it here for safekeeping until we have the others. There were a few more Ninetales ahead.
On tack.
I'll push over. Yeah, eyes on. Down. I think that was the guy. But very quickly we had control of the outpost. Hab building is clear.
Okay.
On your left. So now we could recover the other 2 boxes of titanium.
Okay, grab my box. We should bring the boxes this way, actually, thinking about it, because the Corsair is literally this direction over here from us right now. Ooh, look at you.
Oh, gosh.
Okay. And I'm coming aboard. I'm aboard. We can go. Bottle of drink, of which there are many just lying around.
Pick it up.
As I rehydrated, Arathorn would spot another incoming Ninetales Cutlass.
Wow. I came into the room at the right time.
Taking some damage.
Good shooting.
The drop-off point for the titanium was also on Daymar, and soon we were descending to Retrieval Op, one of the more notable outposts on Daymar, as it features a massive sinkhole cave close by.
That's the big cave right there. I'm gonna put a helmet back on so we can use these boxes.
We'd get to work moving the boxes into the outpost, but I'd spot something different about the box that Arathorn was dragging along.
They're not very wrecky.
Wait, is that doesn't look like a box? Oh look, that's one of our boxes, Arathorn.
It was right there. You know, I'll bring it.
I'm gonna drop off the first one then.
Okay, I'll go grab something useful.
But on returning for the 3rd and final box, a problem would arise.
Back here and see what we can see. We definitely threw 3 back into the back of the ship here, so.
I'd go check the armory as well, but I just could not find the 3rd box now, and we had no marker indication that it had fallen out or been left behind.
Maybe it shows up on the map somewhere. Give us like a ballpark. No. My guess, Arathorn, is that we're about to be robbed of our 6,000 credits each.
This mission would not be completable, and I have no idea where that 3rd box ended up. But while I was in need of a short bathroom break, Arathorn would be flying us to a mining outpost nearby so we could start loading on extra vehicles into the ship. When I returned, we were now at Shubin Mining, and the first idea we had was to try and load a medical Pisces on board to give us the option of a med bay. We'd heard about this being done before, so we knew that it was possible, but I'd never done it myself before, so there would be a lot of trial and error in trying to make the ship fit.
So good.
Gravity's a pain with this though.
Yeah, you just need to go level it out a little. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
from my perspective, it looks like there's room, but I gather.
Oop, okay, well we lost the wing. Most of the way in, well, we're not in enough that we can close the ramp, let's put it that way.
No. Can you go in from the other direction?
You mean going forwards?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try it.
No, it's 100 times more useful, I think, if you could go and back it in, because then you just come out here and it's just a med bay in the back.
At least I can see where I'm going this way.
That's true.
Ooh, hello.
Oh, you're in. It looks like we can shut the door now.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I'll just stand back.
I mean, I can access the... Like, you can access it. Like, I can come all the way... Oh my god, there's still so much space at the front here. Holy shit.
But while it technically did fit, it was far from being stable.
Still a bit jittery. Oh, it is jittering so much.
We decided the collisions were a bit too much of a risk to keep it in here, and on the way back out...
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Well, at least the ship didn't die.
I thought the Corsair was gonna blow. I just started running.
So we'd fall back on a more traditional vehicle manifest, starting with an Ursa rover. An Misk Fury to act as a support snub when needed. With the Ursa loaded though, we'd have to park this thing sideways.
Should go in sideways just fine.
Okay. Gravity's gonna kick in again, so we're stable. Feels stable.
Yeah, it looks like it's just sitting there. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Got ourselves a Fury and an Ursa.
Ready for any situation.
With the ship now properly loaded out, we'd be heading back to Crawl 1 to rendezvous with more crew. Vlas, Critical Mac and Mercutio would be coming aboard to join us. Arathorn had read up a little on the Wallace Klim mission introduction, and it seemed like running some of the drug resupply missions might be a way to trigger the Klim introduction. In 319, Wallace Klim missions were showing up in Moby Glass, but the man himself was missing from Grim Hex. Would 319.1 be any different in this regard, or were we chasing after an apparition?
Here we go.
There we are.
Home sweet home.
Arathorn and I went aboard the station to restock on personal supplies, and soon enough we'd be greeting our new and returning crew members onto the ship.
Arathorn is providing us with snacks as well.
I think you could get a second one in there, but...
So we'd be leaving Ambitious Dream Station and heading for Crusader Space once again.
There we go.
On arrival, we'd be seeking the supply re-up mission that involves taking precursor chemicals to a drug lab, creating batches of the drugs, and delivering the completed batch to Grim Hex.
I'm going to share this now because this is basically, I think, what Arathorn found was like the way to go if you want to get these missions. I'm going to Daymar to pick up something called DCSR2.
We'd be making several stops on this one, and while having the extra bodies on board would make for lighter work, I did feel I should warn our crew about the mission problems Arathorn and I had faced on the Titanium run the day before.
Fair warning though, me and Arathorn ran a mission yesterday and the mission wouldn't complete, but because we, I guess somewhere along the way, one of our boxes just vanished.
Vlas had volunteered to run in to grab the precursor chemical, and on his return would assure us they'd be keeping the chemicals safe for the next leg of the journey.
I will secure this in my bunker and not use the drugs. Let me just close the door real quick. Hold on.
Next stop would be the famed drug lab Jumptown, a hotspot for player activity even when the Jumptown event is not running. Taking precautions would be wise.
Jumptown. Maybe we might encounter people, remember, Jumptown is it is a key part of the drug trade.
So we'd be launching our Fury to serve as an escort.
Landing gear and then strafe left.
Got it.
I think it's good.
There you go.
Ah, he's free. Onwards we go.
This thing accelerates so fast.
As we made the final descent to Jumptown, we'd begin spotting ships landed around the outpost. Nothing overtly active, but landed ships can always be a sign that someone is inside or camping the outpost to steal drug runners' ships.
Bunch of mules. There's like 3 mules below as well. Vlas, you going in?
Yep.
Vlas and Mercutio were heading into the outpost for the first phase of processing, turning the precursor chemical into a refined drug, and having the Fury overhead definitely gave us an extra sense of security sitting on the ground like this. We had one more stop to make before we could head for Grim Hex, but before that we needed to get Arathorn back aboard the ship.
Do we need to be outside of the altitude ladder before we try and load him on?
I've not had it affect me. It would depend on his comfort level, honestly.
What's your comfort level, Arathorn?
I generally feel good about doing it.
At an altitude of 30 kilometers, we'd have Arathorn slowly and carefully approach the ship to hopefully land in much the same way as the ship was originally oriented.
Got it.
Now we can leave him in there. Goes to the
Here we go.
bottom. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Are we good?
Good.
Yeah,
The rest,
Alright.
yep.
Very smoothly done, Arathorn. That was very cool. The final stop was on Salin, and here we'd be getting the refined drug packaged up into smaller bags for distribution. Only one such bag needed to be taken to Grim Hex, so Vlas would be leaving with a much lighter load than he carried inside. And finally, we were arriving at Grim Hex, where we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone by both completing the mission and checking ourselves whether Wallace Klim was actually home or not during this particular patch.
Hey, to Grim Hex, where dreams are made and destroyed. We are leaving the ship now. So I'll close it up, make sure no one sneaks on board. Can't be too careful at Grim Hex.
Mark Hushio's alt character, the Orgbank Skunkwork Skunks, was staying on board, while we head into the station to find the drop point for the small bag of drugs that Vlas was carrying.
Okay, so it's right over here. Oh, okay. It's here.
Holy shit, it is actually one of the...
Are you guys going in the cave?
Not yet, no. We're at a drop-off, a Covalex drop-off point just outside of the admin office. Apparently this is where it's gonna go.
It's not letting me put it in my hand.
Vlas was having trouble getting a grip on the drugs though from his inventory, and so instead we dropped them on the ground for me to try.
Okay, I've got it in my
Cool.
hand. So, can we place it? Yes.
Yay.
332
Yay.
credits. It's enough to buy a couple of drinks.
But what of Wallace Klim? Well, a trip to the basement would leave us disappointed.
No. Okay, I guess that's a dead end because he's still not home.
Do you think maybe it's depends on the server or depends on if somebody's activated a certain mission or not?
I don't know. Because remember, he used to be down here all the time, right? And you just tell you to piss off whatever, but...
So at least we knew now for sure that chasing the Wallace Klim missions would be a dead end for now. And at least here at Grim Hex, we could still continue to explore the Ruto missions instead. Not right away, however, as we had some other ideas we wanted to play around with first. We were heading back to Crawl 1 to swap out the Ursa for more Misk Furies. And in the next video, you'll see why, as we head to Microtech to hit Ghost Hollow, and a chance encounter with a streamer escalated into a completely impromptu Orc v Orc battle. Join us next time to see how things turned out. As always, I want to thank all of you at home for watching, and all of our amazing patrons who you can see on screen right now. Without these very generous people, none of the videos on the channel here would be possible, as patron support is what allows me the time it takes to edit these videos together. I am enormously grateful for that support. Thank you, each and every one. And in this video, I would especially like to thank Spirio, who recently became a patron of the channel, and Cutalocus, who recently increased his pledge support to the channel. Thank you both for continuing to support the channel. You guys are awesome, and I hugely appreciate the support that you've given. This video took a lot longer to come out than I was expecting. I developed some toothache last week that has since become a massive swelling on one side of my face and has made working on videos like this a bit challenging at the moment. I plan to get this addressed this week, so hopefully we'll be back to a more frequent release schedule in the week ahead. And I promise the next video is going to be very action-packed. So we'll be back with more from the Rabid Racoon very soon.